All right, Jackson Dart. I am a fan of the kid. I genuinely think he's the future of that franchise. He's quarterback one for that draft class this past year. However, I don't think it's the right decision to start him. The Giants are 0-3. I get it. A lot of jobs are at stake. The fans want something new. But for the future of this kid's development and for the future of the franchise, I don't think this week is the right week to start Jackson Dart. They're playing a damn good team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Their defense, what Jesse Minter has been able to do the last 2 seasons with this defense is second to none. I mean, he's confusing veteran quarterbacks. He's got guys like Patrick Mahomes, Geno Smith to double clutch the ball, on passing situations. And that in this day and age is very rare, especially with older quarterbacks. You guys know, I tweet about it all the time. Older quarterbacks, if they know what you're in, they'll pick apart your defense any day of the week. Now, going back to Jackson Dart, in my opinion, if you were going to start the kid, I think you do it from day one. From the moment he gets there, you hand him the keys. You say, hey, Jackson, this is your franchise. We're here to support you. Russ and Jameis are your backups, right? Those are your security deposits, your insurance. You're going to go. This team is going to go as you go. But by making him the backup and then throwing him in the fire this early, you're not helping him because he's being asked to dig you out of a hole that you could have set him up for better success if you had just gave him the keys earlier so he could have seen things, so he could have got reps with the ones instead of being used as a read option guy, bringing in on certain downs. Now, either you start him the day he gets there or you wait till the season's out of reach. But I get it. Like I said, a lot of jobs, a lot of things are at stake here. Going to the Chargers. They're playing a really good defense this week. Nobody disguises better than the Chargers right now. Their formations, their personnel, what they're able to do on defense right now, how they're able to use Derwin James, Henley, Gilman, all these guys on the back end, Tony Jefferson. What they're doing right now, I think deserves high praise because they're playing at an elite level of football right now. But if I'm the Giants this week, I'm not only keeping the game plan simplified for Jackson Dart, but I'm also trying to manipulate Jesse Minter into showing me his cards early. Now, that's hard. If you're the Giants and you come out in 11 personnel the whole day, you're playing into Jesse Minter's deck of cards right there. Jesse Minter, whenever he's in nickel, dime, dollar packages, whatever you want to call it, any light packages where he has to deploy 5 DBs, man, he's going to toy with you. That's when he is at his best. He can dial up sim pressures, fire zones, inverted Tampa drops, single high looks, going into 2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it. He is at his best when he is in nickel and dime packages. He can blitz the run. He knows how to cover. The defense plays really good match responsibilities on the back end. However, I've been watching a lot of Chargers tape lately. Sean Payton had a really good game plan, and that's what caught my eye. We're going to go to this tape. I got 4 plays. I was going to use some of last year, but nothing is more evident than your most recent games. And I'm going to use the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chiefs this year. So let's go to this tape. And here's what the Giants need to do if they want a chance at giving Jackson Dart his best opportunity to start against a really good defense. All right, here we go. First thing I will say is the Chargers don't run a lot of base defense. Base defense it's not their comfort zone. The Chargers don't want to live in base. And a lot of teams in the NFL don't. But the Chargers specifically, when I watch them play base defense, I won't say it's vanilla, but you can get Jesse Minter to show his cards when they have to deploy base defense because the menu's not as sporadic as if he's a nickel or dime. So, with that being said, the Denver Broncos come out here. First off, they come out with an extra O-lineman. Call it a heavy set, but they have 2 backs. So, however you want to call this, 21 heavy, 2 backs. He's essentially an O-line, but he's a heavy tight end, so they call it 21 heavy. But what this does, heavy sets here, is it forces the Chargers to play base defense. Now, if you can manipulate the Chargers defense into these personnel and sets early in the game, Jackson Dart can see the shell early and often, right? So the Chargers right here, they're kind of playing with it. They're toying with it a little bit. But as the ball gets closer to snapping, they rotate into this single high shell. Now, Jackson Dart, knowing this, you can give him easy reads. If I know he's one-on-one, and if I know he's one-on-one, and these guys are in the box, I got 5 rushers, or if they want to drop one, simulate pressure and rush 4, I know at the end of the day, this is either going to be single high, man-to-man, or it's going to be cover 3 and it's going to match. It's going to turn into some type of man-to-man form of cover 3. They do a play pass off of this, and they do a comeback route here at the top of the screen to Cortland Sutton. But I knew that because I know he's 1-to-1 up top. Now, I'm going to show you a clip later in this film where what's the counter off of this, right? Every defensive coordinator in the NFL has counters to their counter, right? If I run this play, I also have an ace in my back pocket to show you that I'm running this play, but it's a totally different play. I'll show you that as we get later on in this film. But he knows he has one-on-one up here because pre-snap, the safeties were rotated. Alohi Gilman came down into the box and Derwin James became the post safety. These are the looks you need for Jackson Dart this weekend if you want him to be successful against a good defense. But that's an easy comeback route, man. That's 14 yards. You're moving the chains. You're staying ahead of the sticks. Easy completions for your quarterback. Here we go. Denver comes out in 22. 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. Everything here is screaming run. Sean Payton, downhill. The Chargers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the line of scrimmage. They're showing 6-1 right here. What is it also showing? Single high safety. You're showing your shell. The cards are being shown before the play. What do I know about that? Well, I know I have 2 eligibles right here. So somehow, some way, he's got to match up with one. And between him and him, I won't say Henley. Between Derwin and Alohi, somehow, some way, this guy's got to get eliminated within the route concept. But I know Cortland Sutton, my best receiver, has a one-on-one right here. Whether he's in cover 3 or he's in man-to-man. Cortland just comes on an easy over. Easy. But what happened, though? This is an easy read. Pre-snap, I know what the shell is. The hardest things for young quarterbacks right now is when they get the snap of the ball, they're looking. Oh, man, I'm lost now because the shell didn't tell me what they were doing. All these new defensive coordinators, man, when they get into these dynamic blitz packages and these pressures, dude, they're showing you one thing and they're mixing you up. But when you come out in a heavy set and you're threatening to run the ball and you're threatening to be in the box, teams aren't going to disguise, man. And that's not just with the Chargers. That's with everybody in the NFL, right? You can show heavy guys right here. The defense is forced to show heavy guys. Because if they don't, you're just going to pound the rock down their throat all day. If the Giants come out in 21 and 22 or 12 on Sunday and the Chargers want to live in nickel, I guarantee you Brian Daboll will be the most smilingest dude in the world on Sunday because he'll just hand the ball off to Scatterbo for 4 to 5 yards a pop. But when you show heavy personnel, the defense has to match that. And as of right now, there's not a dynamic menu for the base defense with the Chargers when they run heavy sets here. So this is easy pitch and catch, man. This is Cortland Sutton. Sean Payton had a good game plan. But the problem I see it, man, is a lot of offensive coordinators, like, when one thing works, they feel like they can't spam it again. Like, if you ever played Madden and somebody's running the same play against you on defense and they can't stop what you're running on offense, why do you get cute? You run it until they can't stop it no more. Like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Let's go to the next play. So I talked about counters, okay? Well, Breiden, you came out in a heavy set, all right? Cool. But Jesse Minter isn't going to run the same coverage all day. Correct. He is not. There's counters to counters. Remember what I told you. Every defensive coordinator has a back pocket ace, okay? So pre-snap, they show heavy right here. We got 1, 2, 3. They're in 13 personnel. 3 tight ends, 1 running back. Once again, you're forcing the hand. Single high safety. Okay, so Breiden, I know what they're running. They're running either cover 3 or single high man-to-man, however you want to run it, whether it's robber, thief, lurk, whatever you want to call it. They're running some form of single high, cover 3, man-to-man. Well, on the snap, this is what Jesse Minter does. He's a really good defensive coordinator. Geno Smith gets the ball, play action pass, and now, oh, my post safety is now playing down into the second level. So what do they call this? It's inverted Tampa. This is the counter. You run inverted Tampa. Inverted Tampa, if you don't know, is just your 2 corners. Now they become the deep half players. Your safety comes in, he inserts as the low hole reader, and now these 2 have the deep half of the field. It's a good counter off of what you've been running in your base defense. Geno sees this. Geno thinks he has single high. It turns into cover 2. He has to hold that ball because his read is taken away. Alohi comes into the box. Now he has to dump it off to Ashton. Goes to nowhere. The ball's tipped. Good play. That's good play. That's counters within a counter. Now, Chiefs, they know this, right? 4th and 1. I've shown you 3 plays so far. Every time the Chargers come out in base, it's been single high, right? First 2 plays were single high. Second play was cover 3. Now it turns into match. But you know what your matchups are. You know what routes you can get. Now, what do the Kansas City Chiefs do? Well, if I know Jesse Minter's style of defense, I know, okay, they're going to be in single high when they run base defense. Now, they've shown me their counters. It's either going to be cover 3, man-to-man, or inverted Tampa. Now, what's the weakness of inverted Tampa? Well, the weakness is, I know, pre-snap, say if they do run inverted Tampa and this guy's a deep half, he has to carry the one receiver here. He's the deep part of the field here. Watch how this play opens up for Kansas City. Watch how they put stress on this guy, whether he's a deep third player or he's a deep half player in inverted Tampa. This is football. This is football. They run flood. They stress. Okay? They're running cover 3. Okay? But he's in stress because they run 9-7-3. Okay? This is how you manipulate the shells of a coverage. Guys have to pick and choose who they want to carry. This could either be a explosive play, a medium gain, or it's 4th and 1. You just dump it off to Kareem Hunt for the first down. But you have answers, right? Like when I watch Jackson Dart, I want to see easy answers for them. Good runs, quick game. Get into personnel where you can unlock the shell. If Jesse Minter just stays in nickel and defense all day, man, it's going to be a long day for the kid. And I'm a fan of him. I'm hoping he does well. The Chargers are playing great defense. But at the end of the day, man, like with a young quarterback, you always want to make sure your plan of action for him is simplified. Don't throw him into the fire with no fire extinguisher. You get what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to a good game. It's going to be a good game. I think the Chargers are playing really well right now. Their defense is playing elite. But I want to see a lot of 12 and 21 personnel from the Giants on Sunday. Keep ahead of the chains. Get good runs going. Easy passes. You're going to be able to unlock their shell if they're in base defense. If they got to live in nickel and dime, man, good luck. Good luck to Jackson Dart. That's all I'm going to say.